found in the French version official that even I could not, or Boo could not done because of that. So sometimes you find some you could find some really good stuff just with that actually. So I try to see the reprint games sometimes. And there are some games that were sent in Europe, like Senseiya. It's called, in France it's really huge, called Such a de Joliat. The game was actually made in French only. By Japanese and French. So you can get the game in French.
You can get it in English.
You cannot get it in English, but you know, you have no idea how big the Senseiya is in France. They used to do the figurines over there. And basically, if the figurine is worth like $100 on the line for a kid. Oh no, there's what we're going to speak about that in this video. It will be a Jamie, a Rig guy actually, but it tells the game, and the game was monstrous. They did Dragon Ball games too. That was also done.
Super Butoden.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
They were all translated in French actually. So.
Benzai and I were going to be doing that at one point, but.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. I don't think those games are good, but you know.
But like you said, there are lots of emulator consoles that are basically third-party consoles that work fairly well.
Fairly well. You have to do some compromise.
Yeah.
Okay, the first compromise not only for the Nintendo is the sound.
Yeah.
The sound chip, nobody can emulate the sound chip. So if you use some special sound chip, like especially the Konami games and the official title Nintendo, sometimes you will sound like really badly. The Capcom game actually sounds bad on them. The color is not exactly the same.
Yeah.
On the Super Nintendo side, the sound is not great, but you can put some capacitors and that will fix the sound issue. And the colors is a little bit darker, not exactly the same, but pretty near. A little bit less sharp. I'm really picking my stuff, alright? And do you plug your stuff on the big speakers and the stereo amplifier?
Nope.
No, you should.
I just play them on my CRT because that's how I started playing.
Yeah, but for the sound, I mean. No.
Nope.
Yeah,
You should.
Right out of
system.
Oh, no. People, invest in sound. You can find some old receivers that are $100.
Yeah.
They're still as good as the brand new ones. You just make them repair will cost you $100, and buy some good speakers that will last for years. And that will give you way more fun playing your game. Some people are, trashing sound a lot. But that's the most important thing about the experience. You get way more experience. It has been studied about that, and in Canada we have a company that's called that's really good on sound, like Paradigm. Paradigm will be a great speaker for electronic speakers and do watch Nintendo, Super Nintendo, stuff like that, and classical. So suggestion: try to find out. Sometimes people give them away or sell them for $200, and you buy them new, they cost like $1,200. Pay for that. That's worth it. That's a good investment. That's an out of subject, but that makes all the difference. So yeah, sorry.
Do we have any questions? Anything? Yes.
Actually, one of the games I'm currently looking for is the Christmas Night sampler.
Yes. For Sega Saturn.
Yes, the US version is damn near impossible to find, but I'm finding constant listings of the Japanese version.
Oh yeah.
So, say I were to get an American Sega Saturn, how would I modify to be able to play that?
Sega Saturn is actually very, very, very easy. There's a memory card slot in the back of the Sega Saturn and the Samurai Smurfette. I think that last time I went by there, she has actually one of the cards. And I think it's like $20. As everybody runs out to try and get it before you. Go! No, what you do is you plug it into the back, and it acts as a game shark, basically. You just plug it into the back. It gives you 4 megs extra memory, but it will also allow you to play your games. And it'll start up, and it'll just say, do you want to start with a cheat or whatever? And actually, I hope it's not just an actual memory card. I hope it actually is a translation card so that you can play. Regardless, you can find it for about $20. And it's just one card you pop into the bag, you're fine to play any Sega Saturn game. So, perfectly fine. Yes?
Wondering how you guys maybe cope with region locked games for 16-bit consoles. whether you customize your systems or use a Game Genie and slap them on. Did the Super Nintendo have, I've never heard of region lock codes.
The regional lock was only physical. You just have to break 2 pins.
Yeah, that was all there was. It wasn't like the NES where they had a lockout chip. On the SNES, for both the American and for all of the country, they didn't have a chip like that, and so you could just plug it in. Genesis, they did it on the carts.
And yes and no, that's even more complicated. At first there were no protections.
Yeah, until
Then that-
93.
Yeah.
Then they changed it, and some of the games were protect, some were not. So you need to find a list of the games that are protect. And then if your game is protect, then you need an adapters, or there's multiple way of doing it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can use
it's
the
only
Game
15
Genie. You can
bucks.
look up Game Genie codes that can bypass
Yeah,
the
it'll
region.
totally
There's one of the best adapters, because the Game Genie is not perfect from what I read. There's another adapter that I found that can play the Battle Axe 3, that work with every game, or maybe one game or two. And but it's to find the adapter. I tried to find that adapters, I didn't find it.
Game Genie will help out for most of them, and it's super cheap. And you can find some adapters that are actually only about yay big, super cheap.
There are a bunch of adapters.
15, 25 bucks.
Yeah. So what I see, but some of the game you can look on the database. If you see that you one game that you want, look at that. Try to say lock region lock Genesis cartridge, and you can find a list. And a lot of people will say, okay, that game is not locked, that game is locked, that game is not locked. The Dr. Willy War is locked. So if you want all the Mega Man redone graphically on Genesis,
Yep.
yes, this one is affected, of course. Not always the game you want is locked, right? And they never released it in North America. Okay, awesome.
But you can also, and I've done this with several also consoles, like my PlayStation. I have a thing to play region, free games on US system, but I also have a Japanese PlayStation. I got it for 40 bucks. So Mega Drives, PlayStations, Dreamcasts, super cheap right now. And you can from Japan, from Europe.
Yeah.
So totally, you can find a decent shipping price if you just look around, and yeah. You can
Just as one note on the Genesis. Alright, go read about the revision before buying the Genesis.
Yes.
The version and the revision. Alright, please do that, because the sound chip is a mess, and starting the Model 2, the kill-tip image do that and go back like that. And the best one is actually to find the big models and with the numbers on it and all the stuff. You have some sign that will make it the good ones, but it was not easy for me to find the good ones. I found one with Martin Grenier because he had like a bunch of those, but it was one console on 20, 30, 40. So Sega did actually do production costs on the Genesis. So go read on it. I'm not gonna spend time with that. Please go read on that thing. That's the best thing you can do for yourself and for your ears. Especially for a snob like me.
Do we have any other questions?
What would be some good games to start that, like, if you've never played any like foreign games before, what would be some really good games to start off with?
It's all depending what game are you.
Console.
Yeah.
Console?
Like, I'd say like Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo console. I suggest Sparsters right here. When I was a kid, I was about Nintendo, because I was always against Sega. It was only 2 games that could have made me say, yes, I want to have a Genesis. One of the games was Rocket Knight, and the other one was Fantasy Star 4. Rocket Knight, alright, you can only get it in Genesis, but I didn't know until like recently they make a Rocket Knight 2, Sparkers 2, Rocket Knight 2, and Sparsters for Super Nintendo. So I did decide to jump on it. Not disappointed. I think that's a better game than Sonic. I think the Sonic is overrated. Yeah, right. You can try to kill me, but I did 3 years in a ski theater. You stand no chance. You're just only 30, 40. So, all right. So yeah. So yeah, and you can do so much stuff with that game. Do you play that game? No.
No.
So it's basically a fast farmer. You have potions that can jump, have a rocket in his back, and a sword. And the sword.
Oh, that one, yes, no, I have played that one.
Yeah, you on Super Nintendo?
Yes.
Yes. So you can do a bunch of things. You can load the booster. You can go in any directions. The other air do a backflip with fire that will pass through the inline. You can go front diagonal with the boost. You can do the strategy just moving and shooting. You can do a lot of things in the games. There's so many ways of doing it, and with fun. So and the rhythm is good, but not too fast. Sometimes you have to think about it. You have to there's some puzzles and stuff like that. So and $20 for the games. That's one of the games you should get.
Yeah, there's some good puzzle games. Mario and Wario is a decent puzzle game that actually uses the mouse. That nobody uses the Mario Paint mouse. You can actually have another game for it. If you're a fan of the game of Go, there's a ton of Go games for Super Nintendo.
I didn't know that.
Once again, they use the mouse to move the hand to figure out where you want
So
to
more
place
than
it.
one game with the mouse?
Oh yeah. We're a ton.
Not for North America.
Not for North America, that's the only one. But yeah, the mouse was really big in Japan.
The other thing that I could suggest you is
I
Doki
did
Doki Panic, the
Yeah.
the original version of Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
So basically, just to have it, to show to your friend, here's the original version where the game was supposed to be. I need to order that thing, so because that's one of my favorite games. But that's not one of the things that you should order. The other
Do-Re-Mi.
Do-Re-Mi, yes.
Do-Re-Mi actually did come out on the Wii Virtual Console, so you can, if you have a Wii, just go out and get it.
Was that
Totally get it. It's a great platform.
when they wrote the Yoshi cookie was not the same game? Really? Well, there was another, I forgot the original name, but Yoshi Cookie was another game with Japanese game puzzles type games. And they just keep the game, but remove the story mode, and it was a cute Japanese girl. So actually, that's a really a better game. There's Princess Maker.
Princess Maker.
That would be
that's
a bit-
bit more like a RPG.
That's really actually that tends to be really a good one, really hard one. You're just raising a girl, and she can become anything up to the city admirer, to the slum, to the mafia, chichi. Yes, she can become a school teacher, a nurse, or whatsoever. She can do a bunch of things from what I heard. I really want to play that game. So I'm a big fan of Marmalade. I'm a big fan of Marmalade Boy. So I want to order the games, which is really bad, but who cares?
There's some games that I've been thinking about getting. Super Robot Wars.
Yes.
Yes, that are good titles. Yes.
That one's a nice one because it does have a very intricate story. However, and you know this, you can play it without needing to know any Japanese. Just
Yeah,
once
bad
again, write down this one attacks, this one moves, this one does this.
Bad if I don't
Just play your favorite
Yeah,
map
I
and
would
speed
look
up all the other ones.
Yeah.
Especially if you already have seen the shows.
There's a Samurai Pizza Cat game.
But there's a ton of
It's not that good.
If you have, currently speaking, in Canada,
Show was good.
Firemen.
Never seen the last episode.
Firemen is a
Oh,
fantastic-
Fireman is so good. Just got that.
It's great. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, you
Can
totally
we-
got it. Yeah. Fireman's a great game.
was not an American game.
Did not come out in America.
It did come.
This is the translated version.
No, that
No.
did not come out.
I thought I played a game. That might be another Fireman game. I tried.
They came out with actually two of them, and yeah, you can even find them at reproduction websites. Another good way to get some games to just go
Don't forget, that thing is illegal.
It is, but it's a good way to find it.
No.
I just heard from the collector's panel that some of them are actually licensed.
Yeah, there are a couple. Some of them done by Super Fighter are licensed, and they get the license to it, and they redo them in that way. It's really great. Actually, over here, this first, and then we'll go over here.
Yes.
Just if you guys have any tips for like if you're in Japan, looking for that kind of stuff.
Super Potato.
Okay.
Super Potato. When you go in there, when you open the door to Super Potato, it's amazing. It's only about this big, but it's got just racks and racks and racks of video games. Find the best deals. They'll have entire shelves of used consoles. Use the power source that comes with it. But it'll be super cheap, and yes, Akihabara, Super Potato, it's fantastic. It's an amazing store. Amazing store.
So this was Mr.
Just a quick question. I only recently got into the River City Ransom series, and I realized there's so many more of those games, including one I've seen, like a couple I've seen on the Super Nintendo only. I'm curious if anybody even knows what they are or if they're playable.
Yeah. There's a quiz one, which unfortunately it's not easy to play this because it's pretty Japanese heavy. There's a baseball one, which is pretty fun. Not too much Japanese that you need to know. And there's another one that's a fighting one, and my buddy Yankee J is actually going to be doing a review on that hopefully before the end of the year. But yeah, that's a very good one as well. But yeah, unfortunately, the Super Nintendo ones, they're a little bit different than the Famicom ones, but still they were very fun. And, yes?
I was just wondering if you have any experience with the Nintendo 64 disc drive, if you played the games, if you have any recommendations.
I actually don't know anything about that.
I was
Okay. Well, we can do at least 10 minutes.
We can do a couple of minutes.
Not 1 hour.
Yeah, to an hour.
You're something like that, yes.
Darn.
So bad. Try to save you.
For me, I haven't played. I do know that Gojin the Giant, Shin the Giant, did come out on GameCube, and it was also on the N64 DD. But other than that, I haven't played. I don't know anything about it because it's just too expensive a console for me personally. Start importing and actually playing this. Do you have any experience with the Nintendo 64 DD?
But I never, that's gonna to be really funny because when I just like my translation group, I stopped buying console. And it was the time of the PlayStation and the N64, so I skipped that generation. So people will, so actually I don't own a PlayStation, and the same thing for my girlfriend, because my girlfriend was also, I didn't really with the video game at the time, with the Murder More with the PlayStation 2. And that's why I did learn with PlayStation 1, because PlayStation 2 was compatible with PlayStation 1. I was really happy about that. So I was like, okay. So, and the N64 never got me because of the controllers. So, yeah, I don't know what they were taking when they did the design. So, yeah, okay, you can bash me if you want, but I still think that, you know, they could have gone the way of the GameCube that, because, you know, Ori did a remote, that's basically a GameCube remote and N64.
Yeah, it's a nice controller.
That's really nice controller, so I have an N64, I'm gonna buy the freaking controller.
Way too long, it's going up there.
Yeah, still, but anyway, finding a good shape N64 remote is getting hard. You need to change with the joystick and everything, so. By the way, if you have a problem with the joysticks, you can see Martin up there, downstairs, is selling modified GameCube one with good joystick on it, like the N64 ones. So, that's, I mean the inverse, I mean the N64 joystick with the GameCube. Not the inverse. So, yeah, so.
Anybody else?
Don't forget that.
When you're talking about the Mega Man 8 translation, I heard that Mega Man X4, the English translation was actually done in Japan. Can you confirm this for me?
I cannot confirm that. I can confirm you that the dub is horrible and do not meet any of my standards that should be killed for that. Actually, English people doesn't know how to dub anything. That's it. So yeah, and you know, since I play with ROMs, alright, and I have a big experience, and that's really sad because, you know, Mark did not put me at a panel to speak about translation and stuff like that. That could have been good, but the translation in North America is pretty bad, and I mean, it works some standards.
Certain companies. I'm very pleased with how Xseed is doing. Xseed is actually one of my favorite.
No, I mean, for the majority, there's one or two like working design did some great job actually. And you know, since I'm French and I know a little bit of Japanese because of try to learn by myself.
Thanks for coming out.
You know, I've seen the limitation of English for the translation compared to French. So English is a language of communications, not a language of the on the best on the fancy side. Yeah, I sound like really as now right now. So that's one of the things. So and there's a lot of pressure from the American thing to make it American, and this is wrong. And that's not just in video games, also with Japan animations. You know, when I'm playing this Gaia Tree and I heard them speaking, and I say,
Boy, I sure do love jelly-filled donuts. Jelly-filled donuts.
no, that's an adaptation. But you know, I can explain that when they explain something, and they say the way that the characters speak, and I heard it in the back, even with my little knowledge of Japanese, I say, that's not like the character is speaking, in fact. It have been Americanized. You know, and you know, I do something, you know, I have some English person that are bilingual, I have some English Quebecers. The English Quebecers in Quebec are mostly fully bilinguals. You know, we have a lot of 101, so we're pretty nazi, so it's them really hard with that. So they actually, you know, they say, oh, they come at my house, you know, the French animation is crap, they do bad translation. I say, really, what did you watch? Only the cheap show that's been really badly translated because they're for kids. That's the only thing we get. I say, what about I prove you the inverse? 15 minutes with them. 15 minutes. That's all what I need to prove them that the translation are better and that they want to start buying the animated trends. So in the Gundam Unicorn, when they do the speech at the beginning, you switch between the French and the Japanese, and you see that the American versions of the sub have been Americanized like hell. It looks like American speech, and when you switch it, you see that it is actually a speech that looks pretty much like a UC speech that they use in Gundams.
So the bottom line, just watch the subs over the dubs.
No, it wasn't the sub. This thing was with the sub.
Sometimes you even
No, that was with the sub, and that was Bandai. And Bandai is renowned to be okay. So let's give you an idea. The worst was Funimation. I had my fan sub version of Cashier Sim, and I bought the English version because oh, we're gonna try some French stuff, and then we know it. Yeah, I'm gonna be free with that Blu-ray. I can tell you that. Yeah, but still, to give you an idea, and I did listen to my version, official ones, and I did go back to the fan sub because it was bad. It was Americanized.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So sadly,
it's a 50-50, but you know, there are some good places that do it. I'm very pleased with how XSEED did a lot of their games.
XSEED, which company?
XSEED did Last Story. They've done the
Lunar.
Lunar. What?
No, Lunar was
what's
what we
what's the new one that they? Yeah, and oh gosh, the horror game.
Corpse Party?
Corpse Party.
Amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing job on Corpse Party.
What's it?
Absolutely
You
amazing.
know,
It's like a
yes,
downloadable
was
game?
okay at the beginning,
Okay.
but I see them
What's that
more
called?
falling in their big games, and I see less
Sorry.
translation, less and less.
Yes.
Is it only a downloadable game, I think, Corpse Party? I feel like.
Oh, hey, take care. I downloaded mine.
Yeah, me too. Like, I mine in my.
So
Yes,
there's
please.
but I think they're bringing out a special edition for, there's a bigger version or something, but you won't be too bad. But there's another Corpse Party coming out that's going to be a big thing.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, that's going to have a lot.
Like a
Very
survival
creepy
horror.
story if you guys like anything like that. But that also shows to how games are translated. Sometimes done very extremely well. So, any other questions? Yes.
What would you say are the top 5
Yes, I know.
Famicom import games?
I'm actually going to save that one for when you I'm just going to say, I hate to say this, but watch the video this week.
That's almost out.
Well, yeah, because really, you know, my favorite Famicom games are things that I personally enjoy.
Not necessarily popular ones.
Yeah, some other people.
Don't forget,
if you
video
watch-
games have a lot of fans.
Yeah, so if if you like something, you know, watch Game Center CX. One of the
Oh, yeah.
best ways
Yeah.
to
Amazing.
figure out
Great
if you
show.
like a game is to watch Game Center CX. For those of you who don't know what Game Center CX is, it's been going on for almost
10 years or something, yeah.
almost like that. It's a character or a comedian in Japan named Arino, and he's part of a manzai troupe, and he's a gamer. And so they bring him into a studio, they place him in front of a TV, they put a console in front of him, get a game that he's probably never, most of the time he's never played before, and he plays it and he learns it. And so a lot of the time you can find some of your favorite games by just watching Game Center CX. And once again, you don't have to ask Japanese to understand or enjoy it. I watched several seasons without even knowing most of what he was saying. And Quest of Key quickly became one of my top 5 favorites. Yeah.
The game is evil but fun.
It's evil, but it's fun. It's just so hard. It's one of these great platformers that just never came out to America.
And don't forget some things, you know, at the time of the Famicom, being a bitch and hard was not
It was not a bad thing.
was something that was important because it was the game was expensive and it was important for the value. I remember.
Thanks for coming in.
I remember Mega Man too. My father was playing video games at the time, and when my uncle was speaking about Mega Man and say, "Oh, don't buy that game. It's already too easy. It's not worth it." And you gotta finish it. And you don't want to play again with it.
When you're gonna pay $40 for a game, you gotta make sure that it has.
Yeah, but that's a bit ridiculous when you think today that game is the game that is more research on the gamings. So that's all I prove that gaming is also evolving in some ways, but that's the thing that's funny about it. So,
Anybody else? Any questions about importing or
we're trying to save the bot and stuff.
When's that Pokemon online game finally coming out?
Is that Pokemon online game coming? You know what? They've still only give me the copies that I was sent by link, so.
That's fair.
However, there are a couple, I know at least 3 places that are trying to do an MMORPG of Pokemon. One of them is successful right now. I think the other one is kind of in its beta, but...
did he have the license right?
Oh, no, this is completely online.
Yes, I'm pretty sure Nintendo will kill them soon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand why they
But
should.
right now they are doing it. Oh, Nintendo would make so much bank if they...
Why? I don't understand the logic. It's like it's there. Like your money's right there. It's just ready to be paid to you on a silver platter.
They can just go there and say that's our priority, give us that, and fuck you. And that's what will happen actually.
Well, and these people are doing it also out of the kindness of their heart. They don't want to make any money.
Yeah. There was somebody that didn't want to redo Chrono Trigger in 3Ds and Squaresoft. Yeah, in 3Ds, and it was done by French people from Quebec, I think, in France combined, and they have to close it.
Oh, wow.
And they did it in 3D. It was after a translation or something like that. So.
But sometimes you get really great things where, like the Street Fighter Mega Man, the Street Fighter Cross Mega Man Mega Man game. That Capcom found out what they were doing and they said, "No, this is really great. Actually, we'll even support it and we'll put it up on Capcom Unity."
What a coincidence! Mega Man 2 anniversary.
It's a great game if you have to. It's not important, but it's totally
something
great.
themselves.
Exactly. There was some money it felt
Anyway.
good. It felt like a regular one.
If somebody bought something new from Capcom that's worth it recently, because that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to his newest one.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter.
I heard a few good stuff. Do you know why? You're not supposed to know that, everybody, alright? You want to know something about the industries? I can tell you something really funny. Why Square Enix bought Asia? Does somebody want to know that? For what?
Because they make
No. They bought the studios because in Japan they work in a different way than we are doing, and they are late in the way of doing the stuff. Actually, all the stuff, the programming, the labels and stuff like that, the level design is done by the programming. So all the charge is on the programmer. So whereas the inverse, the artists have way more job to do, but the programmer is doing job to create a tool to go faster. So they bought the studio to actually go see how they were working and how to learn to readapt yourself. And one of the guys that's coming to join me and telling me that, called the guy, they told me basically that he was trying to show something really awesome to them, and the Japanese were like, no, okay, that's good, okay, cool, and then you just show something else that's really basic. You're a friend.
Turn it off. It's okay.
So it's actually.
It's 5 after 50.
Yeah, that's why my girlfriend is texting me. So actually, that's actually why he did something. He showed something really basic. I mean, you learn like at the beginning of school. It's like that thing is awesome. We should use it in our stuff. Like what?
Well, everybody, thank you so much for coming out today. I hope you enjoyed it. And import gaming, it can be a little daunting if you don't know, but really, it's super easy to get into, and it's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding.
Yeah. Not good for your wallet. But
not good for your wallet.
So that's
it's good for your wallet.
Exactly. In coming years, that's not good for your wallet. But you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, there's several games that you can play. You don't need to change your stuff. So go downstairs. Try and talk to some of the important gaming stores, and maybe you can get some stuff this weekend. Have fun.
Yeah.
Take care. Thanks again.
Don't forget that.